formed a canopy ideal to hide under. They sank down in its shadow. "Should still be reasonably cool," Dave said. He burrowed in the earth and took out a can of Heineken and handed it to Rupert. Rupert removed the ring pool and gulped some down. "This is a lifesaver." "Brought you back to life for sure." Rupert laughed. Dave raised his can. "To good King Charles." Rupert did the same. "The King. God bless him." Even though the lager wasn't chilled, it was a bliss to drink. Dave explained that on battle days he usually found a spot where he could stow some away before anyone got there. "In weather like this, you've got to look after yourself." "I can see I've got a lot to learn," Rupert said. "I'm in the cavalry normally, and we smuggle the odd tinny into our saddle holsters. But you can't risk it as a pikeman. You wouldn't get past the inspection." "Well, what are you doing on foot if you're in the cavalry?" Dave laughed. "Slumming. I'm a captain of horse." "Well, if you get a boil on your arse, as I have, you don't want to think about mounting a horse. Today I'm infantry, and grateful for it. Some of the men have knapsacks, I noticed. That's the first place an officer would look. If you were desperate, you could stuff a tin down your breeches. I'd rather get here early and put down my own store." "And you're serious about joining in again?" "Well, that's why I'm in it. For the fighting. Aren't you?" "Well, I'm a historian," Rupert said. "They had what they called a lecture day in October, and I was invited to give a talk. I thought it would be interesting to come along and get a sense of what it's like to reenact a battle." "And is it?" "Is it what?" "Anything like?" Rupert the historian smiled. "Not if I'm brutally honest. This is put on mainly for the spectacle, so the audience has to have a view. The real point of interest in 1643 was Sir William Waller's brilliant tactics." "Waller? He's the enemy?" "Yes, and in the real battle we outnumbered him by a couple of thousand, yet he moved his army in the night and outflanked us. When our side woke up, the parliamentarians had the high position along the top of Lansdown. You saw the little copse behind the Grenville monument?" "Yes." "It wasn't there in 1643. There were clumps of trees at either extreme, where some of Waller's musketeers were deployed. But the main route of attack was a bare hillside. Our royalist army was on Freezing Hill, that one to the north. When we attacked, we had to come down from there and fight our way uphill. We took a lot of casualties." "But we saw them off." "Finally, and at great cost. Not much of that is being shown here. I suppose a battle on the steep hillside wouldn't work as a spectacle." "Flat ground is better," Dave said, looking across the plateau of Lansdown to where the sound of the action continued. "Safer for the horses, too." "And the scale is so different," Rupert said, his focus much more on the past. "We don't have anything approaching the numbers they did. The Royalist army had come up from the West Country under Sir Ralph Hopton's command, and they had upwards of 6,000 men against about 4,000 defending Bath for the parliamentarians." "Is that so?" Dave said in a voice that was beginning to lose interest. "Yes. Today's turnout looks pathetic beside those figures. Hopton lost about 300 in the real battle. I doubt if we started with that many this morning." "It's only a minor muster," Dave said. "We do have bigger turnouts." Each army had masses of artillery. According to the accounts, there was so much smoke from the cannon and muskets that they couldn't see more than a few yards ahead. "Hell on earth, by the sound of it." "Most battles were. A far cry from this little show." "Stop knocking it. We go to a lot of trouble to get the uniforms right. You should see my cavalry gear. Hand sewn." Rupert smiled. "I was given mine on loan. I know the rules. If I carry on, I'm expected to supply my own." "Quite right, too. And make sure you get the proper fabric. You'll be inspected. Real leather belt and boots. All the weapons have to be accurate replicas." "Firing blanks and thunder flashes." "Well, what do you expect?" Dave said, increasingly put down. "I tell you, I wouldn't be here if there were cannonballs flying about." Rupert smiled. "True." Dave said, "We're putting on a show for the public, and we do the best we can with what we've got." The real thing wasn't very satisfactory anyway. They fought to a standstill. Nobody won.